vibes take over.
You are listening to Emmachev Radio.
Just cause listen, hear my plea, I tell no lie. Your essence is my alibi. Let your eyes behold the right. I'm the apple of your in the shadows of your wings. Keep me safe from all this strife, from all the ones who want my life. For they know no pity as they speak their arrogance, cutting off the path I walk, waiting for my way to fall, like a lion in the grass. I'm the apple of your eye, in the shadows of your wings. Keep me safe from all this strife, from all the ones who want my life. For they know no pity as they speak their arrogance, cutting off the path I walk, waiting for my
all the latest news and breaking headlines. Live from your local radio station. This is On the Hour News.
Hello. Here are some of the news making headlines, internationally according to The Guardian, today. Visit theguardian.com for more clarity. 6 Russian tourists are dead after a submarine sank in the Red Sea, Egyptian officials say. The incident took place near the popular Egyptian Red Sea resort of Hurghada. The Russian consulate in Hurghada said the submarine, named Sindbad, had 45 Russian tourists on board in addition to crew members. The consulate said 4 people had died but did not specify if they were Russian, Reuters reported. 6 people have died, and 9 others are injured after the tourist submarine sank in Hurghada, 2 municipal officials said. The Associated Press reported that the officials were speaking on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to brief the media. The incident, involving a recreational vessel operated by Sindbad Submarines, occurred in waters opposite Hurghada's Marriott Hotel Resort. Citing municipal officials, Reuters and the Associated Press reported that 6 foreigners, whose nationalities are still unknown, had died. It was not immediately clear what caused the submarine to sink. The Russian embassy in Egypt has said that all of the tourists on board the submarine were Russian. It said 45 passengers were on board the vessel, including children, in a Facebook post. The local governorate's office told Reuters that all of those confirmed dead were foreign citizens, while survivors had been taken by ambulance to several hospitals in the city. Emergency crews were able to rescue 29 people, according to a statement released by the governorate. Many tourist companies have stopped or limited travel on the Red Sea due to dangers from conflicts in the region. The Sindbad Club's website says it offers short tourist trips in 2 submarines that it operates, which have a maximum depth range of 25 meters. According to the website, its submarines allow tourists to experience the beauty of the Red Sea's underwater world without getting wet. 6 Russian tourists have died, and 39 people have been rescued after a submarine sank near the resort of Hurghada. This is the latest in a series of fatal accidents involving tourists on Egypt's Red Sea coast. 4 survivors, including at least 1 child, were admitted to intensive care, according to an official statement. Sports news today. Believe it or not, Barcelona's men's team played a La Liga game last night, beating Osasuna 3-0. It is highly unusual for domestic matches to be played before the weekend after the international break. The game was rearranged after the death of Barcelona's first-team doctor, Carlos Manaro Garcia, when it was initially staged on March 8. Technology news today. Trump floats easing tariffs on China in return for TikTok deal. U.S. President acknowledges Beijing's role in any sale as app's owner faces the 5th of April deadline to find non-Chinese buyer or be hit with U.S. ban. Donald Trump has said he would be willing to reduce tariffs on China to get a deal done with TikTok's Chinese parent company ByteDance to sell the social media app used by 170 million Americans. He acknowledged the role China would play in any agreement. With respect to TikTok, and China is going to have to play a role in that, possibly in the form of an approval, maybe, and I think they'll do that, Trump told reporters on Wednesday. Maybe I'll give them a little reduction in tariffs or something to get it done, he added. Donald Trump has said he would be willing to reduce tariffs on China to secure a deal with TikTok's Chinese parent company, ByteDance, to sell the social media app used by 170 million Americans. He acknowledged the role China would play in any agreement. With respect to TikTok, China is going to have to play a role in that, possibly in the form of an approval, maybe, and I think they'll do that, Trump told reporters on Wednesday. Maybe I'll give them a little reduction in tariffs or something to get it done, he added.
Welcome to Emmachev Radio, where the music's always fresh, the laughter's contagious, and the good times never stop. Let's make this day unforgettable. 4 men are in the hospital waiting room because their wives are having babies. A nurse goes up to the first guy and says, "Congratulations! You're the father of twins." "That's odd," answers the man. "I work for the Minnesota Twins." A nurse says to the second guy, "Congratulations, you're the father of triplets." "That's weird," answers the second man. "I work for the 3M Company." A nurse tells the third man, "Congratulations, you're the father of quadruplets." "That's strange," he answers. "I work for the Four Seasons Hotel." The last man is groaning and banging his head against the wall. "What's wrong?" the others ask. "I work for 7-Up. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere. Tune in tomorrow for more of the best music, news, and fun. Until then, keep the good vibes flowing."
Folk Tales of Bengal by Reverend Lal Bahari Day. The Origin of Rubies. There was a certain king who died leaving 4 sons behind him with his queen. The queen was passionately fond of the youngest of the princes. She gave him the best robes, the best horses, the best food, and the best furniture. The other 3 princes became exceedingly jealous of their youngest brother, and, conspiring against him and their mother, made them live in a separate house and took possession of the estate. Owing to overindulgence, the youngest prince had become very willful. He never listened to anyone, not even to his mother, but had his own way in everything. One day he went with his mother to bathe in the river. A large boat was riding there at anchor. None of the boatmen were in it. The prince went into the boat and told his mother to come into it. His mother besought him to get down from the boat, as it did not belong to him. But the prince said, "No, mother, I am not coming down. I mean to go on a voyage, and if you wish to come with me, then delay not, but come up at once, or I shall be off in a trice." The queen besought the prince to do no such thing, but to come down instantly. But the prince gave no heed to what she said, and began to take up the anchor. The queen went up into the boat in great haste, and the moment she was on board, the boat started, and falling into the current passed on swiftly like an arrow. The boat went on and on till it reached the sea. After it had gone many furlongs into the open sea, the boat came near a whirlpool where the prince saw a great many rubies of monstrous size floating on the waters. Such large rubies no one had ever seen, each being in value equal to the wealth of 7 kings. The prince caught hold of 6 of those rubies and put them on board. His mother said, "Darling, don't take up those red balls. They must belong to somebody who has been shipwrecked, and we may be taken up as thieves." At the repeated entreaties of his mother, the prince threw them into the sea, keeping only one tied up in his clothes. The boat then drifted toward the coast, and the queen and the prince arrived at a certain port where they landed. The port where they landed was not a small place. It was a large city, the capital of a great king. Not far from the palace, the queen and her son hired a hut where they lived. As the prince was yet a boy, he was fond of playing at marbles. When the children of the king came out to play on a lawn before the palace, our young prince joined them. He had no marbles, but he played with the ruby which he had in his possession. The ruby was so hard that it broke every taw against which it struck. The daughter of the king, who used to watch the games from a balcony of the palace, was astonished to see a brilliant red ball in the hand of the strange lad, and wanted to take possession of it. She told her father that a boy of the street had an uncommonly bright stone in his possession, which she must have, or else she would starve herself to death. The king ordered his servants to bring to him the lad with that precious stone. When the boy was brought, the king wondered at the largeness and brilliancy of the ruby. He had never seen anything like it. He doubted whether any king of any country in the world possessed so great a treasure. He asked the lad where he had got it. The lad replied that he had got it from the sea. The king offered 1,000 rupees for the ruby, and the lad, not knowing its value, readily parted with it for that sum. He went with the money to his mother, who was not a little frightened, thinking that her son had stolen the money from some rich man's house. She became quiet, however, on being assured that the money was given to him by the king in exchange for the red ball which he had picked up in the sea. The king's daughter, on getting the ruby, put it in her hair, and standing before her pet parrot, said to the bird, "Oh, my darling parrot, don't I look very beautiful with this ruby in my hair?" The parrot replied, "Beautiful? You look quite hideous with it. What princess ever puts only one ruby in her hair? It would be somewhat feasible if you had two at least." Stung with shame at the reproach cast in her teeth by the parrot, the princess went into the grief chamber of the palace and would never eat nor drink. The king was not a little concerned when he heard that his daughter had gone into the grief chamber. He went to her and asked her the cause of her grief. The princess told the king what her pet parrot had said, and added, "Father, if you do not procure for me another ruby like this, I'll put an end to my life by mine own hands." The king was overwhelmed with grief. Where was he to get another ruby like it? He doubted whether another like it could be found in the whole world. He ordered the lad who had sold the ruby to be brought into his presence. "Have you, young man," asked the king, "another ruby like the one you sold me?" The lad replied, "No, I have not got one." "Why? Do you want another?" "I can give you lots if you wish to have them. They are to be found in a whirlpool in the sea, far, far away. I can go and fetch some for you." Amazed at the lad's reply, the king offered rich rewards for procuring only another ruby of the same sort. The lad went home and said to his mother that he must go to the sea again to fetch some rubies for the king. The woman was quite frightened at the idea and begged him not to go, but the lad was resolved on going, and nothing could prevent him from carrying out his purpose. He accordingly went alone on board that same vessel which had brought him and his mother, and set sail. He reached the whirlpool, from near which he had formerly picked up the rubies. This time, however, he determined to go to the exact spot whence the rubies were coming out. He went to the center of the whirlpool, where he saw a gap reaching to the bottom of the ocean. He dived into it, leaving his boat to wheel round the whirlpool. When he reached the bottom of the ocean, he saw there a beautiful place. He went inside. In the central room of the palace there was the god Siva, with his eyes closed, and absorbed apparently in intense meditation. A few feet above Siva's head was a platform, on which lay a young lady of exquisite beauty. The prince went to the platform and saw that the head of the lady was separated from her body. Horrified at the sight, he did not know what to make of it. He saw a stream of blood trickling from the severed head, falling upon the matted head of Siva, and running into the ocean in the form of rubies. After a little, two small rods, one of silver and one of gold, which were lying near the head of the lady, attracted his eyes. As he took up the rods in his hands, the golden rod accidentally fell upon the head, on which the head immediately joined itself to the body, and the lady got up. Astonished at the sight of a human being, the lady asked the prince who he was and how he had got there.